As Christians, we need to really understand some attributes of our adversaries, those that stand in opposition to God and His Word, and what their methods are. The methods are historical. The methods have been used in different countries and different ages, different time periods. The tools, however, are different. There has been a great advancement in the tools that is being used as far as being able to spread things on mass scale. It doesn't necessarily have to slowly spread to other cultures. It can be done literally at a push of a button where you receive a download of whatever the propaganda may be. And our adversary the devil has a desire to be like God. God is all knowing, He sees all, He is all powerful, He is omnipresent. These are not attributes, however, that the devil has, but there are steps being taken to simulate certain aspects of that. You look all over the world, there's global surveillance. They're spinning out new technology to make that even faster in real time. The Lord tells us in His Word in Isaiah 14, starting in verse 12, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, the son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the nations to the ground which did weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit upon the mountain of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High." That is the goal. And the human mind is the battleground to try and achieve any level of that goal. Control what you think, which will control what you do. It will control how you feel. If you think this is a farce, if you think that this is not exactly what's happening, then I think you are not really stepping back and looking. Who would have thought back in the days of old that a crackly radio broadcast that come on every single day at a certain hour, in which parents and families would stop what they were doing, stop their normal routine to go listen to the daily download of what is said to be happening, what is said to be true, would grow into television, in which you are told each evening on the news, so called, what the world was like, how you should feel, how you should think, and you reported to that. Who would have thought at that point that they would have further spread that through movies, through television, through kids' cartoons and programming to push society in a certain way? Who would have ever thought that they would have created technology that made it instantaneous, which you could communicate an idea en masse to the entire world in seconds? Who would have thought that you could have just taken over the public schools and taught them to not only acknowledge God, but to mock and blaspheme God? Who would have thought? To receive your daily downloads, they need you connected. That's why there's a massive push, whether it be to remove personal property, whether it be to remove personal rights, whatever, to spread the internet globally to ensure that people are connected. That's just a fact. You see it all over the airwaves. The goal is to create a network that mimics the idea of omnipresence, to have a source in which everyone looks to that they think that an all-knowing being is somewhere on the other end that will download into their mind how to think, how to feel, literally hacking your brain, literally hacking your thoughts. You see, brainwashing is simply what the modern use of the word hacking is. It is reprogramming your mind. In simple terms, brainwashing is the concept that the human mind can be altered or controlled by certain psychological techniques, and it really can be. Brainwashing is said to reduce its subject's ability to critically or independently think. It will change their attitudes, their values, and their beliefs. That is exactly what's going on, my friends. How many will instantly pick their phone up in the morning to see how to think and feel for the day? How many of our parents and grandparents get out of bed, started the coffee pot, turned on the morning news to see how they should think and how they should feel? How many of these children going to these satanic schools immediately look to their social media to see how they should think and feel and dress, what to believe? It is indoctrination, it is brainwashing on a mass scale. These technologies and these methods, the methods of old and the technology of today, have came together to form what we see. I'm going to end this here in a few minutes with a video clip. This is their goal, literally hacking the brain, which is just another way of saying brainwashing. Brainwashing. These techniques are used by communist countries throughout the world. They have been for a long time. They will use mind control, coercive persuasion, thought control, thought reform, and re-education. You have leaders now actually advocating, building, and exercising the use of re-education camps for those that will not conform. God tells you to be an independent thinker, independent and holy in the sense that you look to Him, for He is all-knowing, for He is all-powerful, for in Him lies truth of how we should think and do. The world is at odds with that truth. The world is brainwashing people by the hundreds of millions right now, daily, before and after this. They were washing away beliefs and replacing them. They were coercing people, creating social credit scores, creation, all things to put pressure on a person. The brainwashing is endless, and this is actually their goal. As one pastor said, when they tell you what they're going to do, when they tell you what their goal is, and they've got that bold to do so, one thing you need to understand, that is what they plan on doing. And in this case, are already doing. Pay attention. Understand the tools of the enemy. Don't be ignorant of Satan's devices, his plans, his methods, and even his technologies. None of these platforms were given to you free for your benefit. There has always been an end game to collect knowledge and misuse that knowledge in a way that opposes God and all things good. Please know that. So I'll put the video to this. Feel free to download it if you choose, because I honestly don't know whether or not it will or will not stay up. Other people that's talked about similar things. It hasn't, some have. So just know this: the goal is to control your mind, and specifically what you believe about God, what is good, what is holy. And that is why they will always, and have always in the past and in the future, try to go after your children as young as they can and build them up in the image of this world and not in the image and thinking of God. So till next time, take care, God bless, and listen closely to what this man says in this video, and just think on the ramifications.
But some governments and corporations, for the first time in history, have the power to basically hack human beings. There is a lot of talk about hacking computers, hacking smartphones, hacking bank accounts, but the big story of our era is the ability to hack human beings. And by this I mean that if you have enough data and you have enough computing power, you can understand people better than they understand themselves, and then you can manipulate them in ways which were previously impossible. And in such a situation, the old democratic system stopped functioning. We need to reinvent democracy for this new era in which humans are now hackable animals. You know, the whole idea that humans have, you know, they have this soul or spirit and they have free will and nobody knows what's happening inside me. So whatever I choose, whether in the election or whether in the supermarket, this is my free will, that's over. We need to come to terms with the fact that, no matter, again, this is where philosophy meets computer science and biology.
Free will, a soul, things of the past. What do you think? You think humanity can overcome these challenges? Can we keep our soul? Are you willing to fight for it? Or have we already lost our souls? Are we already in a beast system that will just roll over us? A boot stomping on the face of humanity for the rest of time? At this point, it's up to you. There can be no leaders and a decentralized revolution. And that's what we need right now. So I hope you'll take this message and these ideas, that this isn't about vaccines or masks or even fake food. This is much bigger. And it is all in right now. And the stakes are quite high. It's the future of the human race. Will you stand up?